promise you, your coffee will do it every time. But let's get into it, y'all. We got to talk. We got to have a quick conversation, but you know how we do here. Welcome to Lakers land. Um, a name we don't really talk about on this channel, haven't really had the opportunity to talk about on this channel specifically, is Jake LaRavia, right? I don't think we've ever had a Jake LaRavia conversation here on Lakers land. And I'm telling you, when I do my homework and everything, I'm feeling like, bro, Jake is gonna be an X factor. I don't know if guys are familiar with Jake's game and all that other good stuff, but just watch. If all goes well, I think you guys might be surprised by the impact that LaRavia will have on the Lakers. I don't want to compare him to Austin Reeves, excuse me, but his impact, you know how Austin Reeves had that surprise impact on the team um, initially, especially being undrafted. Jake LaRavia might fit well with the Lakers way more than people may know if they may not be familiar. Now, he's 23 years of age, 6'7", about 240 pounds. He's a power forward. Um, he joined the league, I think, in 2022 with the Memphis Grizzlies. Then he went on with the Sacramento Kings before, ultimately being here with the Lakers. His profile, I mean, he's a muscular build for a wing forward. I will say that he's able to absorb contact in the paint. His athleticism for a 6'7" forward, I say he has above average lateral quickness. Um, his wingspan, he's long enough to disrupt, passing lanes. I'll say that, and he can finish at the rim defensively. He can guard 3 to 4 positions thanks to his length, size, and his lateral mobility. But he's not physical. I don't know if that's going to come back to bite us in our butt, because I talked about the physicality that is still a void, I feel like, with the Lakers front court. Even though we got Ayton, even though we got Jackson Hayes, you want to throw what's his name? We just talked about him. What's the other big man name? I don't forgot the other big man for the Lakers, but there's not a lot of physicality with those guys. All three of those guys are pretty much offensive minded, but this guy, like I said, he can guard 3 to 4 positions. Basketball IQ for Jake LaRavia is a plus. That's one thing that I'm excited about, because he read defenses very well. He smart cuts. He understands spacing, and I I like what I saw from him in small pockets. I'm gonna be real. I mean, he's a combo forward who thrives in versatile switch heavy lineups. That's something we can see JJ Redick doing periodically throughout the season. He can run the floor. He defend multiple positions, and he contributes efficiently off the bench. At least that's what I've seen in the past. His role specifically for the Lakers, I mean, he'll be a rotational forward. I don't know about him having potential to start. It don't make sense in any really aspect, but I think he can't serve as a defensive specialist, but I think he will be a disruptor in a way. Um, Decent secondary scoring option, especially alongside Luca and LeBron. If something was to happen to Austin Reeves, or if Rui was off, Jake LaRavia, I like that. I like um, what I just learned from him in the small amount of times. Like I said, the one thing that really concerns me the most about him is his physicality. I don't know if you guys can overlook that. I don't know if that's really important to y'all at that position. But I like to have guys that's going to be able to bang. Um, I believe every good team, at least not necessarily championship teams, but every good team, every team that's going to compete, right? I think they need a role player who doesn't always make the highlight reel, but make the lineups work. And for the Lakers, I really feel like Jake LaRavia could be just that. Like defining him as sort of a what's the term we used to use? A glue guy, or in some type of catch and shoot threat. I think the term glue guy gets thrown around, but it's real. Somebody who fills the gaps, kind of, sort of. Like I said, he defends multiple positions, hustling on closeouts, making the extra pass. LaRavia to me is not only going to give you 10 to 20 points a night anywhere within that window, but he also brings, like I said, positional versatility, enough length to guard 2 through 4. He doesn't need plays called for him specifically. That's the type of role player championship teams always seem to have, going all the way back to, Miami with LeBron and D Wade and the role players that they had with the Heatles. I think LaRavia is also a guy who does the dirty work, boxing out, which is going to be a plus. We know the Lakers have always kind of struggled when we talk about rebounding, getting second opportunities. Um, Jake LaRavia, his length is going to help that, also contesting, corner shooters, diving on the floor if he's ready to be committed to trying to win with the Lakers. Those plays don't really trend on social media and stuff like that, but it does help swing games at the end of the day. Ultimately, that's the not only the main attraction to me, that's the most important. Maxi Kleber is the other guy. Let me bring my boy Bit up here to get his thoughts on Jake LaRavia. We have a conversation on Jake because I like what I saw and I like what I'm reading up from LaRavia specifically. Bit, what's that word, G? I don't know if you at work or if you available to give me your thoughts on LaRavia. What's that word?
Yo, what's
Yeah,
up, bro?
you know the
Hell yeah,
vibe.
I'm at work with this shit. I got the same feeling you got for real. He can guard 2 through 4. But I remember the most just him in Memphis. Like, he just a good shooter. Like, he can create for himself. Like you said, we don't got to run plays for him. He can spot up. He can get to the rim. He can put it on the floor. He can pass a little bit. Like you said, all we need him to do is be a good guy. Come out here, play hard, make your shots, make the extra pass, make the plays that we need so we can win a championship and not just be out here bullshit. And I feel like he's like a kind of like what Don Connect is going to be in a
You
sense.
took the words right out my mouth, bro. You took the words right out my mouth. Shout out to my boy Bit because he know his shit. This is what I was just about to say. We have so much confidence in Dalton Connect being a knockdown catch and shoot option for the Lakers. Why not put that same level of confidence in LaRavia? You're not. I know a lot of people like Dalton Connect. I like DK, but at the end of the day, if we were to lose, I feel like we've really mentally already lost Dalton Connect. The way that whole trade thing happened, Bit, I feel like he's just permanently been disconnected from this team for various reasons, and I feel like it's just a matter of time before they find a deal to get Connect out of here. But if that is the case, I don't feel like we're losing so much because we got this type of player that can come in, and he's more smarter defensively as far as IQ wise than Dalton Connect. So it's
Yeah,
a win-win on both ends of the basketball court if you're just comparing those two players.
especially with how Memphis played. They were, I'm pretty sure they were a top defense. Most like the past few years, they've been a pretty solid defense, and he's been on those teams, so he understands a certain standard that needs to be set for defense. I feel like Don Connect, especially after the trade, he probably didn't even want to play no more. Then he didn't get any burn in the playoffs
Right.
when he should have. We needed the shooting. Nobody could hit a three. So yeah,
Yep.
like Jake LaRavia, I just feel like he's probably like a more mature Don Connect. So we not like you said, we not losing nothing if he ends up going. I really would want to keep both of them, but Like you said, I feel like mentally, I don't know where he's at, and plus, like defensively, he just looks so lost. Like where we at now with the team that we have, you got to be locked in. You got to be giving maximum effort. And I don't feel like Don't Connect is there yet.
I agree 100%. But I like the guts and the heart that Dalton Connect brings to the table. I don't think that you can mimic that. I haven't seen that from Jake LaRavia. So even though there are similarities, it would be good in a perfect world for the Lakers to be able to build with both guys on the team um, for a substantial amount of time. We watched Dalton Connect come into the league not afraid of really anything. He was
Anything,
balling.
anything. I'm talking about on the court with LeBron and AD. I'm getting 30,
Yep, yep,
shooting
yep.
10 threes a game. Like that's what that like. Don't Connect what Jake LaRavia may lack offensively, like the scoring. What is it like aggressiveness?
Yep, yep.
I feel like that's what Dalton has over Jake, but LaRavia got the defensive side that we need Don Connect to pick up. So they go
Exactly,
hand in hand. You could run
exactly.
multiple lineups with Dalton at the two, maybe spot minutes and throw LaRavia at the three. Probably have Brian Ayton and Luca.
Yep.
But I feel like they'll thrive. They'll thrive. Like the lineup, it really just depends on what lineup we run. So if we run AR, Smart, Dalton, LaRavia, and what like Cleaver as a second unit, throw Gabe Vincent in there or something, like it could work just depending on how JJ managed the minutes.
I just think he's just another threat. Like even if Jake LaRavia is just league average from 3 point, his willingness to shoot the basketball keeps the floor open. Dalton
Right.
Connect, when JJ Redick put him on the floor, you can't afford to just leave guys open. They might not be the most efficient, but they're not afraid to shoot that bitch. So you
Yeah.
better stand in front of them. And
Right.
I think that matters, especially as a role player, trying to earn some minutes. Um, I don't think he'll kill the spacing at all.
Yeah.
The Lakers got an opportunity to do something. I mean,
We definitely do because I already told you how I feel. I don't think the West got like crazy better. Everybody's so high on the West getting so much, but I don't think it got that much better. It'll probably be. I think the standings will probably be probably about 2 games better. Like for what was it? It was OKC, Houston. Then the rest of the season was divided. The way it was all 50-win teams. So
right.
I think we'll probably be like around the same thing. Probably with a healthy Luca, more motivated. We'll probably be around like 53 ish. I can see us maybe getting 55, but I don't think the West will really be that much better. KD and Houston, they're gonna have to show me some. Denver, y'all got shooters, but
I know a lot of people feel like the Lakers are going to have this type of season um, that
like we supposed to
ultimately,
fall off.
I don't think we're going to fall off, but
That's just what I've been seeing. Like a lot of the reviews on like the Lakers this year, we were the third seed last year, and
yep.
I see a lot of people having us like play in 6 seed. I'm like, we just won 50 games. AD missed a chunk of games, and so did Luca, and we were still a top 3 seed. So we bring in some spacing, bring in a little bit more depth, but we're gonna fall off. I don't see it.
What about JJ Redick? What about the coaching staff? Could they mess this thing up?
I
Because I
don't think
believe they
so.
could. I don't.
I
I'm not. I don't. I'm not wishing that, but we can't act like the players, the roster that we got, is the type of team that can just go without no. Well, they
Yeah,
got the leadership on the court with Luke and LeBron, but just systematically, they're going to need to figure out things. How it's a chemistry thing. Like things have to work.
yeah.
I think it's really important, even though this is his second year. JJ has to put the pedal to the metal, bro.
I think JJ learned from what he did last year in the playoffs, and I think
I
he'll
hope so.
learn from deploying some of his defensive schemes so early in the season. But it's like I understand, like, because we were doing a lot of making teams shoot threes. I don't believe y'all can shoot a lot of defensive schemes we was running, like what we did to Denver, what we did to OKC in the regular season. He might have
Right.
showed his hand too early, so I think he'll learn from that. And then just rotations, knowing what's going to work, what lineups work with each other. Like when you bring LeBron off the court, are you leaving Luka and AR on the court to allow the others to feed off them? What lineups are? What is our starting lineup? What are we going to do starting the game? Who's going to close the game, man? Just I think JJ did a good job last year, especially offensively, like getting shooters open, running plays for shooters, making us shoot more threes to get more rack, get to the basket more, and then like you said, adding Jake LaRavia, that'll open up the floor more for Luka and LeBron to get to the rack, get a pick and pop with Aiden in the mid range. You give it to Aiden
Yep.
in the mid range. We got spacing, we got shooters, so it's all about doing what you did last year to a certain degree, getting the offense moving, getting guys moving around, getting threes up, because that's the offense that JJ wants to run. But just tweaking minor things like that. Like we can't go into the playoffs this year playing everybody 48 minutes a game again. You have a bench, use it.
Right. You
You
got to
got
use it.
Vando. You got Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent didn't have a bad playoff series last year, and he was picking it up as the season went along. Use your
Yep.
players. Don't
He had Gabe had a much better season last year than he had the year before
right.
with the Lakers. Most definitely, I agree with that 100%. Getting back to Jake though, bro, we talked about the good. We also got to talk about the bad, the ugly of Jake LaRavia's game. For what it's worth. When we talk about, I brought up physicality. Um, I think his strength versus like the elite bigs. He's 240 pounds, but he's going to be overpowered by a lot of those, NBA level type of power forwards and centers
Yeah.
in the post. Like, do you think that that's going to be a problem on defense? Even though he's smart, he's just not respectfully tough enough.
I think I think it'll have to be up. You remember that stretch last year when we traded AD and Luca wasn't playing yet, but we were playing good defense. It was like Brian Rui, Gabe, Vando, and Hayes, or I forgot who the other guy was. But basically, during that stretch, we played a lot of help your man, help this man. You get beat, I'm gonna recover, go to your man. So if the defensive scheme is gonna be that, I don't
Right.
think he'll struggle because we'll have somebody to help him. Oh, if you say it's a pick and roll, Jay LaRavia gets switched on to the big. You sprint to the corner, LeBron to come over and rotate, take the big, stuff like that. So it's all about the scheme and what they do. Help the helper, just like we did last year. We had the top defense last year, just off that. Helping the helper, commit, give effort, run, sprint. That's what it got to be that because we don't have a major rim protector like AD anymore.
We did bring in Marcus Smart. Bronny James can only get better defensively. Gabe Vincent is a solid defender. We bringing in Aiton, who's really offensive minded, but he has length. Jackson
Yeah,
Hayes has length. Yeah, I believe the Lakers could end up being a top 10 defense uh, again if they stay healthy. What
I,
about Jake LaRavia's inconsistency at the 3-point line?
uh, I think we'll just have to see how the season goes, for real. Because I think Jake LaRavia, I think he'll be a great shooter for the regular season. For me, it's more so the postseason. The regular season, you can get through the season doing certain things, but when the playoffs come, can you be that role player that can hit shots? That's my question. We haven't. I don't think we've seen Jake LaRavia in the playoffs, so that would be my only question. The regular season, I think he'll be great, but if he isn't hitting the three, then that's a major L because that's what you're here for. We need the spacing. So if you're not hitting the three, what are you really giving us if you can't defend like to the highest extent?
So let me ask you this because I'm sitting here wondering, and I don't think we wrong for that, but why do we highlight the 3-pointer so much? Like, I know that LaRavia is not the type that's going to be able to create his own shot. He's not even going to have a ball like that to be able to. But it seems like every time I think about, the help, it's always the 3-point shot instead of just being able to hit a 15 footer or consistently hit a 16, 18 footer. Why do we always limit it to 3-point shots? Why
I
just not a
think
good perimeter jumper? Is it because of
I
the way the
think
game has changed?
Yeah, that's the number one fact. The game has changed for one, and two, those you spotting up for a mid-range shot, that's going to our stars. That's going to the SGAs. That's going to the Lucas, the LeBrons. We
Yeah.
don't need
Okay.
you taking those 15 footers. We need you spacing the floor for if the
Okay.
defense breaks down, you need to be able to hit that shot. And that's my
Bam.
point about Jake LaRavia in the playoffs. The regular season, I don't. I'm high on it because I want to see what you can do. But when the playoffs come, can you make that shot to give Luka and LeBron and AR less pressure when they go attack? So the 3-point shot, like you just look at the last playoff run. Aaron Nesmith, what was that? That game against the Knicks. How many threes did that man hit? You go to the finals. The major swings are 3-pointers. If you can run off a string of 2 threes in a row with a few defensive stops, do you know how much that can do for your team when the later part of the game comes and Luke and LeBron have to go take that 15-foot shot or the tougher shot? So
Right.
spacing is a major plus. Whenever you have shooting, it's a major plus. That's just like Boston. Why are they so successful? Because they run a 5-out offense. Anytime I drive and kick, somebody's open. Oh, you're coming to help off the kick, that's another person open. So the more shooting you have, the easier it is for your offense to flow, in my opinion.
No, that's a fact. So we've talked about the good. We've talked about the bad from Jake LaRavia. Where does LaRavia bit fit in your eyes with this Laker team as far as the actual lineup? Should he be put in the starting lineup at pockets of the season? Should he be strictly coming off the bench? Six man, what do you feel like with the Lakers should be Jake LaRavia's positioning?
So my starting lineup will probably be Luca, AR, Brian, Rui, and Aiden. So I would have Jake LaRavia coming off the bench. Depending on who gets injured and how the season goes, if the starting lineup isn't playing that well to begin the year, then
You'll
maybe
plug
we'll
him
shake
in.
something up. Yeah, you know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But
Okay.
nah, I think he'll be a key rotation, key rotation piece. So like I think of the biggest question is what are we gonna do with AR? Is AR going to come off the bench or is he going to start? I think he should start, but I wouldn't be surprised if we dip into bringing him off the bench to like how we got Russ when Russ finally committed to the bench and we were playing a little bit better. I wonder if we're gonna have to do that with AR. Are you going to have to go to the bench so we can get the bench maximized? I don't
I
know.
don't
I don't
see it.
know how we going. I don't
I
know how
don't
we're gonna
see it.
play it.
I don't see it. It would be lovely for Austin Reeves to commit and accept that role without complaints. I just don't see it, bro. His career is going up. I
Yeah,
don't see him taking a back seat for something that's still not going to guarantee him a title when he knows he's still got a lot of basketball left to play in his career.
yeah,
I don't know. That's going to really show where his heart is mentally.
right.
Um,
It's a tough
if
situation too.
If Austin Reeves get benched, he's going to have to earn being benched. I don't want to see JJ coming up with no stupid system that's going to have
Yeah,
Marcus Smart starting or Austin Reeves not starting. Let Austin Reeves screw himself over and put himself on the bench. That's it.
yeah.
That's the only way.
Just gotta manage the lineups and minutes. Do you want AR running more with the bench, or do you want a combo of Luca and AR running with the bench? Like it's all how we gonna play it, how the season goes, how LeBron look. I think Luca come in on fire to start the year. I think we gonna be straight. Like we talked about the schedule a few streams back. I
Yep.
want us to be at least 25 games in. If we can be somewhere at around 18 wins, then I think we'll be straight. Cause you know that back half of the schedule is crazy.
After 25 games, I'm not going to put a number on it. We're going to watch it closely. You said 18, but
Yeah,
after 25 games, I need to feel like the Lakers have a stronghold on that division.
Right.
By the time we at least a quarter of the season out of the and I'm not saying I want the Lakers to have run away with the Pacific. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that at all. But I need to feel like they are a major threat again in the division. Nothing has changed. They haven't fell off. So at least after 25 games, if I feel like they are in strong first place or contending for first, I'm good. But if the Lakers are in third or
Yeah.
tied for third in the Pacific Division after the first 25 games,
Yeah.
we in trouble because we already saw the schedule for February. We know what it's
Boy,
like after Christmas. It gets real.
it get crazy after Christmas. Yeah, I don't think we have. To be honest with you, I don't think Golden State can beat us. If it came down to a playoff series, I don't think they can beat us. So Sacramento and what is it, Phoenix? That's also in our division. I'm not worried about them boys. We'll
And the
be a top
Clippers as
seed.
well.
The Clippers, them boys got an unction going on over there. I don't
Yeah,
know,
they
man. The
got some shit
Clippers
going
is
on. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about the Lakers. The Lakers can beat the Lakers. We don't need none of these other teams to beat us.
yeah,
We sometimes step on our own feet. You understand
yeah,
what I'm saying? With stupid decisions that we make. We cost ourselves a lot of success over the years with the
for
decisions that
sure.
was made from the front office all the way down to the basketball court itself. So I just hope we can just remain locked in. Like I said, I need to feel confident that we are one of them ones
Right.
after 25 games. Period.
I think we will be for sure. Especially, I feel like they gave us a blessing with that first part of the schedule. They gave us a lot of mediocre teams. So shit, we need to take care of business.
So y'all let us know, man, what y'all think about Jake LaRavia. At the end of the day, this is a guy that we're gonna keep our eye on here on Lakers land all year because I really feel like he's gonna be very pivotal to the success of this team one way or another. I'm not sure exactly what role he's going to play, but defensively, he can guard multiple positions. I think offensively, there's a couple different pockets of impact and importance that you could place Jake LaRavia in for this Lakers team specifically. Will he execute in those roles? Just remains to be seen. But uh, Bit myself, we're real excited. We can't wait for the Lakers season to start. Y'all know we're gonna be streaming all the games, Lakers games, live here on Lakers Land. We got free VIP passes for you guys. So this season is going to be like none other here in Lakers land. So I can't wait. Let me know what y'all think though on the replay. Y'all thoughts of Jake LaRavia. How much of an impact do you guys expect for him to have with the purple and gold this season? I'm Seven Mitchell. Shout out to my boy Bit for joining me this afternoon. I'll catch you guys live tomorrow here on Lakers Land. Again, shout out to Playback for the merch. Definitely appreciate that. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace,
Yes,
Bit.
sir.
All
Yes,
right, my
sir.
G. Peace.